Welcome to the 107th installment of Em Alejandro, your number one place for sports, cars, video games, fitness. If you're a man, you're here. Mr. Alejandro, but tell him.
What you about to tell him, Alejandro?
I'm about to tell him about what's currently going on in the NBA as we're getting closer and closer to the beginning of the NBA playoffs.
Tell him, Alejandro!
PA drinkers, the NBA All-Star Weekend just passed, and also the NBA trade deadline just passed. This means we're getting closer and closer to April and closer to the beginning of the NBA playoffs. Let's talk about some of the transactions from the trade deadline. First things first, the biggest move was the acquisition of Goran Dragić from the Miami Heat. They got him from the Phoenix Suns. This is a good look for that team, the Miami Heat. They are pushing to try and make it for the playoffs right now in the Eastern Conference, and this is only going to help them because Goran Dragić is one of the best point guards in the NBA. But unfortunately, the Miami Heat got some bad news because recently their all-star big man, Chris Bosh, got injured. After the All-Star game, he was hanging out with D-Wade, enjoying his All-Star weekend. They both went to Haiti, and all of a sudden he started feeling a little sick. He went to the hospital, found out he got blood clots in his lungs. So Chris Bosh will be out for the rest of the NBA season. That sucks. I like Bizzle. He puts in a lot of work defensively. I feel like he's underrated. Now that LeBron James is no longer with the Miami Heat, I feel like we're going to get a much more productive Chris Bosh. I feel like he had to sacrifice the most out of the big three. D-Wade had to sacrifice the leadership role and lead in the locker room and allow LeBron to lead on the court. LeBron James had to sacrifice his reputation. He got slayed and destroyed and scrutinized when he went to the Miami Heat. But Chris Bosh had to sacrifice his game. When you got to give up your game and you're a baller, that's difficult. Hello? So I feel like Chris Bosh is going to get more respect, more burn next season. And when he comes back, hopefully healthy, I'm looking to see Bizzle do some big things. The Philadelphia 76ers traded away Michael Carter-Williams, aka MCW. I do not like the fact that they traded away MCW. MCW is a young up-and-coming point guard in the NBA. And the Philadelphia 76ers are currently rebuilding. So what do they need? Young players. Young players can develop and turn into stars. And at the same token, young players are cheap labor. I don't understand why they traded Michael Carter-Williams away. Want to know what they got in return? A draft pick. What are you going to do with that draft pick? Draft a young goon coming out of college. What's the point of drafting a young goon coming out of college if you just drafted a young goon coming out of college and you know what you're going to get from him? You don't know what you're going to get from the up-and-coming prospect you may use that draft pick with, or you might even trade it. The Philadelphia 76ers right now, that organization, I don't know what they're doing. They were getting a lot of young pieces, making some moves that made me look at them like, you know what? They're going to be a problem in the next 4 or 5 years. Now that they're trading away their future, that makes no sense to me. If I'm a Sixers fan, I'd probably be extremely upset with that organization. The Phoenix Suns got Brandon Knight, and the Milwaukee Bucks, the team that Knight came from, got Michael Carter-Williams. MCW went to the Milwaukee Bucks, who already had an all-star caliber point guard, Brandon Knight, but then he got traded to the Phoenix Suns, who in turn gave Goran Dragić away. You see the crazy triangle that's going on right now? It's crazy. The Phoenix Suns also gave up Isaiah Thomas. He went to the Boston Celtics, another team that's rebuilding, and they're probably going to eventually move Thomas. So it's crazy what's going on in the NBA right now. Cats is just moving pieces left and right. Like if Cats is playing Monopoly, you playing checkers, you playing some type of board game. It's like you playing a video game. You just making trades left and right. It's getting crazy. The Portland Trailblazers just acquired Arron and Afflalo from the Denver Nuggets, who basically had a fire sale. This is a good look for the Blazers to help shore up their bench, especially their wing players, because Nicolas, Batum, their small forward, has been banged up this season. I definitely think Afflalo has game, and he's going to help the Blazers. I still don't think the Blazers are going to win a championship, but it's a good look for that squad. Speaking of the Denver Nuggets, they also gave away one of my favorite players in the NBA. The Denver Nuggets traded away JaVale McGee. They traded him to the Philadelphia 76ers. Now check this out. If you don't know nothing about JaVale McGee, he's a clown. He's a jokester. He's similar to me. He's an entertainer on the basketball court, okay? I love JaVale McGee. Always makes me laugh. Listen to the people who were involved in the trade with JaVale McGee. This is not a coincidence, okay? Check this out. You got from Turkey, you got my man's Cenk Akyol. Then you got another sexy beast. He's from Nigeria. Check this sexy name out. Chukwudiebere Maduabum. Yes, I said Chukwudiebere Maduabum. That name is fire. Let me get some fire emojis right now. Boom, boom, boom. Straight lava. Heat. He's dropping a mixtape.
You think it's a game?
Wow, what a name. Anyway, it's just so ironic that my man's JaVale McGee is traded with names like this. He's a clown for life, man. I love that man, JaVale McGee, and I really think that after basketball, because so far his career hasn't really panned out. He was supposed to be a star. He's a star for the wrong reasons thus far. I hope he gets his act together on the court. I think after the NBA, he definitely has a career because he always makes me laugh. Even when he's not even supposed to make me laugh, he finds a way to make me laugh. That's my dude. Another big time trade was the trade of Kevin Garnett. This trade had the biggest trade in terms of name value, brand name. You feel me? If you're going to go to the store, you're going to get the regular paper towel or you're going to get the bounty. You feel me? This is the bounty right here. This is the shaman, the softness. Kevin Garnett got traded from my Brooklyn Nets back to where he started playing, to the Minnesota Timberwolves. Why? I'll tell you why. The Minnesota Timberwolves are a young team. They got some players that they plan to keep for the long term. And they want a goon in the locker room to show these fools what to do and teach these guys how to become professionals in the NBA. I think it's a decent trade. Why decent? Why not better than that? Because they traded away a decent player, an above decent player, a pretty good player. Thaddeus Young, the Minnesota Timberwolves traded him to my Nets. And also Kevin Garnett, there's a reason why he's available. He's a dying corpse. He don't got it no more, B. He's not KG the Kid, my man who was doing commercials with Styles P.
What up? We call him KG the Kid, KG. But if you seen him with a basketball, you know that he grown.
Garnett's old. Trust me, I went to go see him play. He's old. That 12 to 18 foot mid-range jump shot, it's not wet anymore. It's not automatic. He's not going in the post anymore and hitting you with that shimmy, 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 then the fadeaway. He's aging, B. That defense is not as intense. It's still intense. He's still barking. He's still cursing. But he simply isn't the big ticket anymore. I hate to say it because that's my man. That was definitely one of my favorite players of all time. And when he retires, I'm going to definitely salute him. That's my G. But yo, he's moving at a very slow pace right now. Tim Duncan has more moves than him, B. I'm sorry. Anyway, another minor move was my man's Tayshaun Prince. He's back with the Detroit Pistons. That's what's up. And you can definitely see a trend that I said would start. LeBron James always sets these trends, man. He went back home. Now everybody is going back to their former teams or going back to their home place, which is why, just to let y'all know, I think when Kevin Durant's contract expires, which is going to be after next season, at the year 2016, I think Kevin Durant is going to go play for the Washington Wizards because he's from that area. I really do think he's going to go play there. Just my opinion. Speaking of cats going away, going home and such, my man's Kobe Bryant said that he will play one more NBA season and then retire. This is big news if you ask me, my G. Kobe, just like Garnett, another one of my personal favorite players growing up. And when he goes, I got to salute him, man. Nobody has came close to being Michael Jordan the way that he has. LeBron James may surpass it, but it's a different style. It's a different game that LeBron James brings to the court. You feel me? Kobe Bryant was an illusion of Michael. He really was. I never seen somebody so close, so similar to Michael, man. Another big time trade was from the Oklahoma City Thunder and the Cleveland Cavaliers. Check it out. OKC traded away Reggie Jackson, backup point guard, to the Detroit Pistons. I don't think that's going to work because the Pistons already have a point guard who they're paying a lot of money in Brandon Jennings. OKC also got rid of Kendrick Perkins. I'm going to get to Kendrick Perkins in a bit. But what OKC did, they got rid of those two players and they acquired DJ Augustin, a solid backup point guard to Russell Westbrook. Augustin is no slouch. He was putting in a lot of work with the Bulls last season. Augustin is not a bum. They acquired the champ is here, Steve Novak, aka Novakin, aka I'm wet, aka Aaron Rodgers, step aside because this is my celebration, aka get your ratchets ready, because if you leave Steve Novak open, trust me, I know. He used to play for the New York Knicks. He gonna gun it, and he's gonna let you know he's the champ. OKC also acquired Kyle Singler, another jump shooter. He's gonna help space the court out. OKC also acquired Enes Kanter, who's a big man with an offensive skill set that the Oklahoma City Thunder have never truly had. He has some decent skills in the low post, and that's only gonna help things for Russell Westbrook. And of course, Mr. 54, Kevin Durant, who, by the way, he's been suffering and battling injuries all season long. I don't know if OKC is ready to win a championship this season, if Durant's not healthy, of course. But if he's healthy and with these moves that they made, I definitely think OKC would be the best team in the West right now. Pending the health of Kevin Durant. And I do mean that. Now let's talk about that Kendrick Perkins move. He was traded away to the Utah Jazz. The Utah Jazz bought his contract out. He was cleared on waivers. Then he was signed to the Cleveland Cavaliers. Let's talk about the Cavaliers because they are clearly the front runner in the Eastern Conference right now. Nobody's messing with them. If the Wizards think they could beat the Cavs, you're bugging. If you think that, you're bugging. The Wizards would get smoked by the Cavs. The only team in the East right now that's competing with the Cavs is the Chicago Bulls, and I'm not completely sold on them. They've been lackluster if you ask me. They did recently beat the Cavs prior to the All-Star break, but that's prior to the All-Star break, man. Those players' minds was already on going to New York and enjoying themselves. The Cavs acquiring Perkins, now they have big bodies. Mozgov, Perkins, Love, Thompson. They got big bodies. They got wing players. J.R. Smith, another player they traded for from my New York Knicks. Iman Shumpert, athleticism on the wings. They got shooters, spacers. They got players that can drive to the hoop, kick out to the open shooters, or even finish near the hoop. That team is winning the East, hands down. They might win the NBA championship. I don't know yet because I feel like the Western Conference is definitely a lot better than the Eastern Conference. But that's how things are looking right now, man. If you smell what Mr. Alejandro is cooking. There you have it, folks. Mr. Alejandro's recap of what's going on in the NBA currently. How do you feel about all the trades and acquisitions that were made throughout the season? How do you feel about all the big-time injuries going on in the NBA right now, especially in the Western Conference? I don't even know who's going to win the West because of all these injuries. Right now, it's looking like the Grizzlies are probably going to win, but who knows? The Spurs are banged up, Clippers. Anyway, what do you think about some of these players watching their careers slowly come to an end? For example, Kevin Garnett and Kobe Bryant. Y'all know what y'all got to do. Press the like button and then tell them in the comments.
Tell them.
Tonight's green bow tie is brought to you by Ted Baker. I'm fresh and I'm fly like my man Pat Riley. I'm a young up-and-comer like my girl Kylie. Tune even more sports cars, video games, fitness, and all that. Follow at Tell Em Alejandro to hear my immediate reaction to live sports events, or if you want to hear me cover a certain team or topic, tell them. Outro music. Woo! Let's get it out. There's mad injuries right now in the NBA. It's crazy. My man Anthony Davis just went down. And it's the big time names, you know. It's shocking. By the way, sports fans, there's a big time boxing match coming soon. And if you remember, that was my New Year's resolution. So eventually we will talk about that on Tell Em Alejandro. Let's get it. T-E-A. Woo! T-E-A. T-E-A. Let's get it now. T-E-A. Chill. TA drinkers, y'all know what time it is. It's time for a little bit of that bonus footage. I'm sitting here watching the Cleveland Cavaliers versus the Golden State Warriors, and I'm about to throw in 2 more topics for y'all. First things first, my man Rajon Rondo the other day had beef with his head coach, Rick Carlisle. He was beefing because Carlisle wanted to run a certain play. Rondo was being insubordinate, and basically he got benched for the rest of the game and suspended for the very next game. What did this mean for Rajon Rondo? He's a free agent after the season. Do you guys think he will return to the Dallas Mavericks, or does this mean he'll become a free agent and possibly go to Mr. Alejandro's New York Knicks? And of course, the very, very, very sad news, heartbreaking news, Derrick Rose has re-torn the meniscus in his right knee. He's going to be having surgery on Friday. Will he be back for the rest of the season? Do you think his career is over, TA drinkers? I need y'all to tell him in the comments. Woo! Woo!
Tell him.